Good morning, everybody. Welcome in to the right side of campus here for Christmas Eve, December 24th, 2018. I'm your host, the big man on campus, getting you ready for one of the great holidays of the season here tonight. We'll relive the weekend in football and more. Not a long show today, probably go 45 minutes or so, and then we'll get into the Christmas holiday with all the family and everybody. So hope you're having a great early start to your morning here. I'm sure I still got to go out and get some things done. I still got
Me too.
Yeah. Donnie Wright said I still got to get one thing. So yeah, that's what Christmas Day is for, like Eve Day. My mother always says to me, "Why don't you go out and get your gifts early?" I said, "Well, because I don't know. I don't really have to get that many things, and I have the day of Christmas Eve."
No, I would agree. I mean, I still have to go out. Since my daughter can't buy her own presents, I have to take her out so she can buy something for my wife. So I still have that to do today. Got to hit the gym. I mean, there's a lot. This is an action-packed day, Jeff. Not a lot going on in the sporting world. There's a Monday Night Football game, which actually shouldn't be played because of how bad it probably will be tonight. But there's a lot going on. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on guys out there today.
Yeah, that's a good point by you. I was thinking about that as, I was waking up this morning. Like, why is there an NFL game on? Like, I don't really understand.
It's good business. It's good business. I remember sometimes growing up, Jeff, I would go over to my dad's house as like a teenager and nothing was on. The only thing you could actually watch was the ESPN highlights for the year that were on repeat from like 6 p.m. all the way up through midnight. I'm actually happy that they at least give us something to watch because there's a lot of people out there, Jeff, angry at Christmas, lost their girl at Christmas, lost their wife, were divorced, some bad memories. It's sort of an escape. You're at a bad party. You just want to get away from these people and watch some football. So I'm glad the NFL actually does this. Even though the game is horrific, at least it gives people something to watch. That's all.
Yeah, I will not watch this game at all. I'll make that very clear. But I guess that's a point. There are people out there that, maybe aren't blessed like you or I or other people. So it's a good point. Welcome into the show. Do us a favor, hit the like button. We don't have a rundown or anything today. We're kind of just running with it here. Just do us a favor, hit the like button, say hello in the chat. And look, if you're on Twitter, one of the Christmas gifts that we could ask for is that all you do is hit that retweet button and retweet the show. It's a great way to get it out to people that maybe don't see it on a regular basis. Donnie, where to start? We'll relive the weekend, I guess, and start. First of all, I've got to ask, Donnie, how did you enjoy the party Saturday night? I know people are curious about that probably.
Yep, took a long time to get there. But again, I preface this by the wife. We took the long roundabout way, went through the countryside, up and down hills, Amish country. But it was nice, Jeff. It was nice, bright, and sunny. I wasn't in a hurry to get anywhere. Like, I enjoyed the ride. I enjoyed the party. I enjoyed my time. I mean, isn't that what life's about? Sometimes it's like, you know what? When are we getting there? When are we getting there? When are we getting there? It was the opposite for me, Jeff. Had the family in the car, listening to some Christmas tunes, driving around in the country. That's what life's about, right?
Yeah. Your wife was telling me that you had, the long drive, and that's always the challenge, Donnie, when coming up here. I mean, I had someone there with me, and I know when she first came up here, I gave her the most. I just said, follow what the map tells you to do, okay? Because I know what that's going to be like, me trying to explain how to get here. Just go the way I tell you, or the thing tells you, and then eventually we'll figure out a quicker way. But, I know you went a longer way.
Yeah, so we cut about 50 minutes off the ride going home the correct way, but I like that stuff, man. Went over the Wrightsville Columbia Bridge, Googled it, read some history. I love old school places like that have a lot of Civil War history and stuff like that, and you're just driving around and you can't go more than 5 miles or a mile and a half to 5 miles without having 15 placards up there telling you this is a historic site. This is his historic site. I love stuff like that, man.
The place that we have, the venue that we own, my family, that used to be a point of the Underground Railroad, Donnie, at one point. So there are a lot of mementos around there, historical things. So yeah, it was a nice party. It was good to see you and everybody else, and we had a nice time. But let's switch gears here, Donnie, and get into what happened over the weekend. Where do you want to start? Right side.
I guess we can go with the NFL and how it broke down yesterday. Some, Interesting finishes, to say the least, which has been the way of the NFL this year. The fourth quarter madness that begins. You're looking at a team like, let's start with the Green Bay Packers, Jeff, and their comeback. No need to win that football game. We talked about all week long yesterday on the closing line, getting the 3 points with the Jets because the Packers don't win on the road. And that game looked like a stone cold easy cover, only to go up in flames in overtime with Aaron Rodgers putting another fantastic game in the books without much help to begin with and stealing one. I mean, look, you can just start right there in a game that was basically meaningless. But the Packers go in and come from behind from a large margin and take it in overtime. And if you back the Jets and you're +3 yesterday, that one hurts.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. Good point by you. An 18-point fourth quarter, and the Packers get the job done. I mean, one thing you could say about Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he cares. Let's put it that way. He's never going to stop. They finally win a game on the road. How about that? That was the one thing that was kind of hidden in all that. They finally won a game on the road. A shootout nonetheless. But, yeah, a big fourth quarter for Green Bay. And for Aaron Rodgers, I guess he was a little pissed off. He went in, got the job done. It's all about next year for the Green Bay Packers. But, hey, a nice way to go out, I guess you could say. Donnie, I think the great thing about the NFL is I was watching over the weekend on Netflix, and it was actually recommended by a couple people in the chat. There's a show on Netflix about a soccer team in England that got relegated. Not once, but twice, Donnie. They were in the Premier League. They got relegated to the Championship. Then they got relegated to League One, and it was about their fan base. Now they had to deal with that. And, I think that's always kind of something about the NFL and American sports that's cool. You're not – you don't – if you have a bad season, you just have a bad season,
Yeah.
Nothing else really happens. So it could be a lot worse. Green Bay will be back, and, nice effort for them to at least get a win on the road yesterday.
No, that's it was a good effort nonetheless. Talk about going over the total, man. Scorched over that total. And I think it opened up around like 45, 46 and was bet up there, and it easily covered that. But a lot of games that came down to not really came down to the wire, but came down to the spread wire. If you're watching Detroit, how about Detroit, Jeff? Goes up 9-0 and gets 27 unanswered, hung right on their head, including a Hail Mary at the end of the half, which was one of the weird. Usually Hail Marys goes up, it's like a fluke play. This could have just been drawn up and just said, go deep. I'm just going to throw you a pass. Just raise your hands up and catch it. It was a really poor effort by the Detroit Lions to end the half, and that's the way it went down. The minute they got that Hail Mary, you knew what was going to happen in the second half.
Yeah. That game was kind of taken on its head the last minute of that quarter in the second quarter. And you look at the Lions, 223 yards. It's not enough. They have really had issues with that Golden Tate. I mean, I don't know what else to say. You look at Galladay yesterday. He tries to do what he can, on one foot, basically. Just a rough day, rough season for the Lions. And, again, if you're an Eagle fan, you're kind of scoreward watching. You see the 9-0 down there, and you're thinking, maybe we got a chance here. But it's all going to come down to Donnie. Can Minnesota beat the Bears? And could the Eagles, who you likely think would beat the Redskins? You know what, Donnie, I have a feeling is going to happen. I got a feeling that the Eagles are going to win. And Minnesota is going to win. That's what I have a feeling is going to happen, and that's going to be that.
Yeah, it's. I mean, we'll as soon as we recap, we'll get to some of the things that should play out, and there's a reason why some lines aren't being hung yet. We don't know what quarterback's playing. We don't know if starters are going to play this week. So you really got to read between the lines early in the week to try to steal 2, 3, or 4 points because it's going to happen quickly. Coaches always in the beginning of the week, Jeff, say, we're going to play. We always play to win, and that always changes later. But we'll get back to that as soon as we finish up a couple things. You have the Philadelphia Eagles. I had the money line Philadelphia Eagles, and thank God I had the money line. But it's just the craziness, Jeff. There's 5 minutes on the clock. The Eagles are at midfield up 13 points. So basically at this point, Jeff, if you hand the football off at midfield, because everyone picked up a first down, if you hand it off 3 times, run it down to maybe 3.5 minutes, or maybe Houston burns all their timeouts. You punt the football, pin them at like the 15-yard line, 3 minutes to go, down 13. Game's over, right? Well, you put the rookie in the game, and you know how much of a problem I have with Adams. I don't understand. Maybe because the Eagles think they're out of it or he's just a live body, but he's just not a very good football player. And, of course, the rookie's going to put the ball on the mat late in the game, and all hell breaks loose.
He's a brutal player to watch, isn't he?
You can see the talent at times, but he doesn't know how to pick up the blitz. He doesn't run effective pass patterns in the flat, and you just see him always trying to bounce runs and just cover the football at the end of the game, man.
I read a stat yesterday, and I can't believe this. On 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1, he's 0-7 with no yards.
Wait,
How's
what was
that?
that? Oh,
Like
what do you
he's
mean
not.
0-7?
He has not converted one of those, third or fourth. I mean, that's amazing.
Do I have to see another 3rd and 1 down inside the 5-yard line? They run him right up the middle.
Yeah, and
the
shotgun.
defensive lineman or 3 yards into the backfield, just catching him for a loss. Yeah, I could deal without that.
I had to get a kick out of the one yesterday where they did it, and there was a hold on Clowney. It was about as easy a hold call as you're going to get.
Yeah,
it's brutal.
They're always my favorite too, though. Isn't it like it's 1st and goal, like the half-yard line of the 1. You hand it off up the middle, and there's a holding call. It's almost just like, are you kidding? Like, there's a reason why you don't have to block the outside guys. Like when you're trying to block a field goal, you just put your hand out so they can't cut in all the way. Like that's all you do, and you hold the defensive end on a run up the middle. You should just leave him unblocked, and he can't make the play. That's how stupid it is. But neither here nor there. An unbelievable drive. The Eagles have a 3rd and 10 from their own 10-yard line with 1:20 to go. Foles throws a dime that Jeffrey comes down with and gets the 15-yard penalty tacked on. And away the Eagles went, ended up kicking a 35-yard field goal to win that game and win my bet. But shouldn't have had to sweat that game. But that just seems like it's the NFL. And what a play, Jeff. First of all, back-to-back 3rd and 11s. 1 3rd and 11. Deshaun Watson gets out of 3 surefire sacks and fires a dime 30 yards. And then another 3rd and 11. He floats a ball in the end zone. That's an absolute dime pass in the breadbasket for a touchdown for them to take the lead.
Did you just look at that play and say, yes, if that's anyone else but Douglas, that's probably an incomplete pass. I mean,
and it wasn't even like if DeAndre Hopkins made that catch, you're like, dude, he's gonna. Like,
but it's some guy from
some random dude getting one knee down in the back of the end zone sliding. It was unbelievable. Oh man, give me started.
And then Douglas just gets up and runs. It's like, come on, man. Like, but listen, let me tell you something about Nick Foles. All right, Nick Foles won the Super Bowl. He'll always be a legend in this town. But I think what he's doing this year, Donnie, is quite amazing. I mean, I've begun over the last few months to love Nick Foles. It's been a weird career for him, but if he's able to – I mean, you have to admit, Donnie, at this point, if Carson Wentz was healthy, I don't know how you could go to him. I just don't.
You do.
Can't.
You do.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, how, Donnie? You continue to not explain yourself here.
Over a 16 game.
Donnie, let me be honest with you.
Going to be the better quarterback. He's younger. He's more talented. He's arm strength.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me say one thing though. Carson Wentz, and we can argue about this all we want, but it's the truth. This offense just really wasn't that good with Carson Wentz as quarterback. This offense for large parts of the season wasn't good. It just isn't. It didn't move. They didn't move the ball. It was stagnant. It sucked.
Well, I mean, there's a lot to say and go into it because next year is going to be a big year for Wentz. Because
but Nick Foles
you saw him as a rookie with not many weapons fight through it. You saw him in his second year be the MVP of the NFL. He was the best player in the National Football League last year. Blows his knee out, comes back fast, still having the knee problems, then fractures or hurts his back. Next year, when he's fully 100%, you'll get a pretty good look at him next year.
Sure, that's fine. But I'm telling you right now, if he's fully healthy this week coming in, there's no way he's the quarterback. Zero. Still.
If he's fully healthy, if you say no back injury and his knee's good, no, he's going to play football.
There's no way you're taking – if he was healthy this week, there's absolutely no way you're taking the job from Nick Foles. You cannot. You can't. He's looked too good. And I would hope they wouldn't do that. There is no way that's going to happen. None. Carson's just going to have to suck it up and be the backup, right?
The only good thing is Foles will sign a nice big contract with somebody else, and the Eagles will probably end up with a sweet 2nd or 3rd round pick and compensate.
That might be true. I think he's going to retire.
No, he ain't retiring. You kidding me? He's 29 years old, isn't he? 30?
I'm not sure.
Why would he retire?
31, and I don't know if you saw the press release.
He's 31. Okay, no, he's not retiring. There's a lot of money left to be made for that guy.
To me, it looked like yesterday he was hinting at that.
No, I actually think it wouldn't put it past me, Jeff. He's banked some pretty good money in his career. And I have always said this all along. Backup quarterbacks can still make some you can't pay a backup quarterback like $10 million. And I think he understands that. But if Carson Wentz is 25 years old, Carson Wentz is going to be in Philadelphia for another 10 years. And if you're a backup quarterback at 31, why can't you just be the backup all the way through and make $5 million a year and never have to really put yourself in harm's way unless, Wentz goes down with an injury. You're getting paid, you make bank, and you walk around the city like a king.
That's what I would do.
That's what I would do, yeah.
Well, that's what he did this year. And I think if I'm Foles, and I think that's what he would do, Donnie, at this point. He's been through a lot in his career. He's won a lot. But he's
He tried
also
to give up football. Was so Jeff Fisher ruined him so bad that he didn't even want to come back. Like, he had to be coaxed into coming back at like 29 years old in the NFL because he was like, dude, I'm done. But when you come to a city that adores you, that you brought them the Super Bowl, it's carte blanche here. Why not take a 5-year contract at $30 million and just be the backup and I see him on endorsement deals all over. He lives the life of a king right now, man. And his dad's paid. Like, really, when his dad, passes away and turns over that, ton of money, you have to counterbalance that. He's like Johnny Manziel coming from oil money. We say, Manziel only made $3. Well, he doesn't need it. His dad's going to just turn over the fortune to him. Same thing with Nick Foles. His dad's multi-millionaire. So he's got a lot coming down the line.
He must be regarded as one of the greatest Eagles ever.
Yes, of course he is.
That performance yesterday, Donnie, we have to get. You see him get a hit. He got destroyed.
Awesome. Now, also, it's funny in this game because he goes for 471, breaks the all-time record for the Philadelphia Eagles. But there were some plays in there like, Foles, like, what the hell are you doing? But that's just an emotion. You could tell the mettle of a quarterback when you need to make the throws, you make them. Because let's go back to 16-16 tie, Jeff. Throws an absolute dime bomb to Nelson Aguilar, who beats the Honey Badger over the top. What a monster play and throw, man. I love the fact that because I played wide receiver in college. I had a quarterback that throw absolute shotgun blasts at you. You didn't even want to warm up with the guy, Jeff. Hey, you want to get some throws in and warm up? Like, oh, Jesus Christ, he's going to break my fingers from like 15 yards away. And then you have the other quarterbacks that throw that soft pillow out there. It's like, man, this is so nice. Foles throws that soft pillow that says, dude, you want to go catch this ball? Go catch it. As opposed to Wentz at times throws that fucking howitzer at you.
No, the way he throws the ball is beautiful. Yeah. Some of those little touch passes to Darren Sproles, just terrific.
Yes. Hey, look, I'm not going to say he's I love him. I think he's a great quarterback. I think he's the best backup quarterback in the league. And what an asset to have when your franchise quarterback goes down. You have a dude can step in and beat the Rams and the Texans back-to-back weeks.
Let me ask you, Donnie. I'm going to play a little game here. I want to ask you a couple questions.
Yeah.
Would you take Nick Foles over these quarterbacks? Okay. I'm going to give you. Can I give you a couple teams?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, just yes or no, and just a little reason why. Trubisky.
No, I wouldn't take. I would take Trubisky.
Okay, you pick Trubisky. Mayfield.
Now, hold on. You have to preface this by saying, Jeff, are we talking about like your new franchise and you're drafting right now today?
I'm going to say no.
Are you going to limit it to saying right now, heading into the playoffs or something? If you're
that's okay. Here's what we'll do.
Let's do that.
Say right now, going into the playoffs.
Okay, that's different. Yep.
You have a chance.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You're let's say a wild card team.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not saying these are in the playoffs. I'm just picking Ben Roethlisberger.
I take Ben.
Okay. Cam Newton healthy.
Cam Newton healthy. I take Cam Newton.
Okay. Baker Mayfield.
I take Foles.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Heading into the playoffs, yes.
Mariota.
I take Foles.
Sure, definitely. We'll do one more. Dak Prescott.
I take Nick Foles right now.
Yeah. Let's do one more. Tom Brady.
I'm still going Brady, man. he's on one.
I mean, seriously,
he's on one leg, but I can't give up on Brady, man.
Gotta think. Okay, where do you put Foles in the 31 teams? There are 32, whatever it is. Where do you put Foles? Top 15?
I would have to look and see. I don't have the quarterback list, but if you're just, again, if it's prefaced not by saying you want to start your franchise, if it's prefaced by saying we're going into the playoffs, he's tested, man. Like, he's battle tested. Like Matt Nagy is that offspring of Andy Reid. So he's going to run a similar offense to what he's in now because you know what the question is I think Doug Peterson knows the offense that Nick Foles needs to run and it works. Yeah. Like, I don't think you could put Nick Foles into like a different system and have him like 7-step drop under center. That's not what he does. But I think if you run an offense that caters like to the RPO he's great at, he can move the football and be effective back there.
Last question I have for you, Donnie, and I want you to think about this. These are all just questions. These will never happen. If the Giants came to you right now and said, we'll give you a first-round pick and Saquon Barkley for Carson Wentz, would you do that?
No.
Okay.
You need the quarterback, yeah.
Yeah, you have to. And that's what I think people don't seem to understand. They just think, oh, Nick Foles is playing better now, so I got to play him. You got to remember, Nick Foles is older, and this is 10 years down the road. Yeah. It's very tough to get a franchise quarterback. So that's why Carson's so coveted in Philadelphia. That's why they won't trade him. That's what people don't understand. They went and got him. They know what they have. He's just injured, and that's why Carson Wentz will not be traded. And that's why when people ask me, I just tell them to shut up. That's dumb.
Yeah, they were going to, a second round pick to Cleveland. And Nick Foles said he didn't want to go to Cleveland last year. That's how much, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people say like, well, there's a lot of money. There is a lot of money to be on the table, but it's not all about money when you've been in the NFL that long and you reach the pinnacle, especially when you reach the pinnacle. If you're that quarterback out there, it's like, let's just say Matthew Stafford just making bank, hasn't won a Super Bowl, but he would go to another team and make more bank. But if you're Nick Foles and you just say, I'm 31, family is wealthy, I'm wealthy, I have a Super Bowl MVP up there in my living room, followed by a Super Bowl trophy right next to it. Sometimes you want to smell the roses the rest of your life, don't you? Say, look, I'm going to ride or die, because he says all the right things of what you would like, right? Gets in the huddle. Hey, guys, I love you. Let's see what we can do out here. And that's why they buy in. Like, dude, I know this guy is going to ride or die with us. And sometimes you just want to give it up.
If Foles goes and wins another Super Bowl.
Oh, man.
Then what do you do?
Now, see.
There's no way you go back to fucking Wentz. None.
But what do you do, though? But then if
Foles, go to Foles.
But if Foles, here we go. Hold on. But if Foles, play this one out. If Foles wins a Super Bowl and he's a 2-time MVP, 2-time Super Bowl champion, and then we can roll reverse, in a row, and the Giants come to you and say, we'll give you Saquon Barkley and a first-round pick for Nick Foles, then I'll do it. Yeah.
Of course I would do that. Which is kind of crazy, but all right, let's move on here.
It's fun. It's fun to talk
about
hypotheticals.
What is this, a fucking Eagles show for
Yes, it is. Yep. No, that was pretty good hypotheticals there. But no, let's get to a couple other.
I got one here, Don.
Games. Go ahead. Yep,
pretty. And again, I gave this out on the closing line show. Play of the day: Browns Bengals over 44. Tough beat here. Real tough beat. I mean, this game was at 44. Browns going in. They got a big pass to Njoku. Njoku's just too slow and goes out like the 2-yard line. And then they just sit on the ball and run the clock out. Tough beat.
It's one of those things too, Jeff, that you're saying like only if they had one timeout and only if Njoku actually went out of bounds with the one timeout, and then they say, you know what, we might as well score right here. But it was that perfect calamity. And I've been there before. I had one play a couple years ago. I think it was maybe 2-3 years ago. D'Angelo Williams for the Pittsburgh Steelers ran it down to like the 40-yard line instead of sticking the football out. Got stopped there and they just took a couple knees and I wasn't able to get the cover. But I hear you on that. That's brutal. If you have the over, because you're watching, and if you have the under, or if you have even, because you know what else was the actual line itself, the side itself was in play. You're saying it's at the 20, the 15, at the 10. Like, are they just going to give up? And of course, nobody gave up. They tackled them.
This is also why you don't lay double digits with the Browns. Another good point to make.
And they had it too. They had it. Yeah.
By the way, Donnie, what's his name? Baker Mayfield. Clearly does not like Hugh Jackson. Like he hates Hugh Jackson.
Why would you hate? Yeah, but see, here's the problem I have with
so much.
Like Hugh Jackson isn't like the dickhead coach guy. Do you know what I mean? Like I honestly think Hugh Jackson really likes Baker Mayfield and really wants him to do well, and probably had his best interest. Like,
and Baker's just a dick.
Like I don't understand that. Like this isn't like a dickhead coach that left and was like, well, if Baker would have played better, I would have still had a job.
He's just being a jerk.
And I think Hugh Jackson is one of the worst coaches I've ever seen. But that doesn't take into account that I actually think he's a really nice guy, and I don't think he means anything poor. Like, remember last when they came with the handshake where Baker's like, oh, you went to like, I actually think he really went out there and wanted to shake him and give him a hug and like, damn, Baker, really nice job with the win today. But that's just the way Baker Mayfield is, I guess.
Yeah, he's just kind of a dick. I mean, he's a prick. I mean, it's very simple. It's not difficult to understand that. He holds this crazy grudge, and that's what
I mean, look, if that's what helps you give your edge and you play better, because Mayfield's always been told he's too small, he can't play, you don't have a scholarship here, you got to walk on there, and you're a starter, now you're not a starter. So I understand the chip, and sometimes you need that fake chip on your shoulder to continue to motivate you, understand. But I actually think Hugh Jackson really roots for him, and probably still does, even though Mayfield doesn't like him. I think deep down he's just like, I hope he really does well. I don't know. Just me.
Weird performance yesterday from the Colts.
Yeah.
I had the Colts. They were my play yesterday. I gave out. I had made a lot of I've had them a couple of times this year, but this is one where, and Donnie, 3 losses this year in the NFL, 2 of them involved with the Giants. I bet against the Giants both times and lost both times. Now keep in mind, this is a 6-10 football team. Colts get a win. They don't cover, nowhere near it. Big win for the Colts. I mean, they continue to defy and get the job done, but not a good performance by them yesterday. poor on defense.
Yeah, it's kind of a good team, though, Jeff, because they were dead to rights. They were dead to rights in that football game, fought back, and they didn't need style points, and they picked up the victory. But it was an auspicious start there for the Colts because the Giants not much to play for, banged up, and the next thing you know, it's 14-0. You're saying, like, man, where did this come from? It's almost like reminiscent, Jeff, of when they went down to Houston early in the year and just beat Houston outright in Houston. It was just one of those odd type of game situations. But credit the Giants coaching staff for getting that team ready to play and care about playing. But also give credit to Frank Reich saying, you know what, we're down, but we're not out. And look at this, one game to get into the playoffs now.
Yeah, that is a good point. But it's, when you back them, it's like, fuck, man. Like, what is going on? You cannot get a goddamn stop here. What else do we have? Carolina stinks. They were brutal yesterday. The Bears, they get a cover.
Bears get it done to get the win and the cover in that game. There was a couple spots where, Niners were knocking on that door, and as an Eagles fan, I thought the Niners would be able to cover the 3.5, 4, but they were just outside that number. But as an Eagles fan, I was cheering on them Bears, Jeff. I got to say, I was cheering them on.
They are going to the Super Bowl. I'm telling you. Get on the fucking bandwagon, people. Trubisky, let's go through his stat line yesterday. 25 for 29 for 246. How about that? A little touchdown as well, a little tutty. Listen, this defense didn't matter that they'd already wrapped it up. Didn't matter. We're still going to go out and play hard. We don't give a shit about spots and letdown games. Not so fast. 9 points, baby. No George Kittle. He ain't going to beat us today. Not going to happen. Bears, legit.
Sign of a good team, Jeff.
Yes.
We talked about it because it wasn't like some people look at that like, you almost lost to the no. You have to look at spots in the NFL, and there's not a worse spot that the Bears are going to line up into because you clinched. And there's, I understand that, if they win out and somebody loses, they can get that top seed. But just living in the head of like an NFL player, they know what's about to take place because they know after the game's like, all right, we got the home field, we clinched. We do have an outside shot at that 2 seed, but probably not likely. And you go and end up getting beat against the 49ers, and you say, what? It doesn't matter anyway. We still clinched. And then you go into the last week and you rest up versus Minnesota. But that's a big win there because now you're saying, why don't we keep this momentum going? You have a tough game on schedule next week against a team that absolutely must have it. But you're getting all the right things out of Matt Nagy right after the game saying, look, man, we're not going to take a week off here. We're going to win, which sounds nice, Jeff, early in the week. We'll see how it plays out and read some of the, press clippings about who's going to play, who's not going to play. But technically, the Bears do still have something to play for here.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. You got to hope that they're going to, keep the same interest in this game and hopefully we get the job done here. So, yeah, no, if you're a fan of the Eagles, you got to hope that the Bears come out and play hard this weekend coming up here. New Orleans and Pittsburgh, Donnie. What a crazy game this was.
Yeah, it was. It was a great game. It was a great game to watch. The refs really junked up a couple key situations. Mike Tomlin junked up a couple key situations, but it was still great theater is the way it all broke down. I had the Saints -5.5, got it early in the week, and I love that play because I was actually factoring on, Jeff, I told you yesterday on the closing line, because I was factoring in the Chargers beating the Ravens to make this not a huge, winner must go home game. But it turned out, Saints were up 10 in the second half, but credit the Steelers, Jeff. Credit them, man. The defense came to play in the second half. Big Ben was making throws. They finally said, you know what, Antonio Brown, lead us to temptation out here. And he was absolutely dominant in the second half. They should have won that football game. The Steelers should have won that football game. I know they were down, 10 with 10 minutes to go in the third quarter, but they did everything right after that moment except dropping the football on the ground and Mike Tomlin calling a ridiculous, look, if it's 4th and 2, 4th and 1, 4th and 3, maybe you try that. Or how about, Jeff, it's like 8 minutes to go in the game where you say, if we don't get this and the Steelers or the New Orleans goes down and scores, we have plenty of time and timeouts that we can counter this. I just think where the game was, the way the Steelers defense was playing, and you would have pinned probably, let's just say a decent punt, not even a great punt, a decent punt from midfield. You take it back to the 15-yard line and say, you have to go 80 plus yards on us right now to get a touchdown as opposed to, 40 yards or whatever it was. I just thought Mike Tomlin blew it in the moment. The Steelers deserve that win. It's a shame they're probably going to miss out on the playoffs now.
Listen, by the way, Steelers are on fire and Mike Tomlin. Okay. Well, maybe, but they've had 3 coaches in like 50 years.
No, it's not the way they do it. It's not. But I mean, they've had a lot of talent. They should have more. He should have more than one Super Bowl appearance in there. He
Mike
should.
Tomlin didn't fumble yesterday. Mike Tomlin didn't get a field goal blocked. Mike Tomlin didn't drop passes.
Yeah, but who field goal blocked? No, they blocked the field goal, the Steelers.
Right. Oh, okay. That's something I'm looking wrong with.
But the job of a coach, though, to me, Jeff, is to not actually win you football games. Like some coaches can, they're like really good wizards. It just don't make that decision that you say, this is really going to haunt us here. Because let's just say, Jeff, they actually get the first down. They're only at midfield anyway. So if they don't get another first down or even get it, like, the Saints are still going to get the football back. Like it wasn't one of those plays. You know how we see at the end of football games where it's like 4th and 1. If we get this first down, the game is over. If there was 2 minutes on the clock and he did that, the game was over. I would say, man, that's a roll of the dice.
But the fake punt,
Donnie, where it was though.
But the fake punt, it worked. He just didn't get us.
But that's what I mean. It was too far away. Like 4th and 3, 4th and 2, 4th and 1. I understand, but that was a long shot to get that though.
You're not going to find a long shot over that. I mean, you're down 4 at that point.
So. No, you're up 4.
Weren't you down 4?
No, they were winning the game. That was the whole point. Yeah.
So you would have punted there. Is that what
I would have punted there, made them go 85 yards, and have to score a touchdown. Night, so. No, but I was saying the second half, the Steelers did right after that touchdown by Kamara. I just don't like when your coach lose it. Play the percentages. Do you know what I mean? If he punts that and the Saints go 85 yards. There's not a single person that's going to say, boy, Tomlin, you should have fake punted it on that. You know what I mean? You just leave it up where you needed a calamity of errors to lose that game, and your coach helped out with those errors. That was the problem.
If you're a Steeler fan, first of all, they're not going to do it. Second of all, I don't know if you're going to go out there and get a better coach than what you have. I mean,
yeah, but sometimes it's not actually about that. Like, you reach the mountaintop. What 10? When did he win his Super Bowl? Like 10 years ago, was it? I mean, it's a pretty long time ago. Like 08, 09 or like that. But they have that team is way too talented to make one Super Bowl.
They're like the Bengals, and that's all they don't get rid of.
Their MO is not get rid of football coaches. And I don't actually know what can change. But Big Ben's getting older. But when you look at that team, like when they finally got healthy on defense. And you pair it with that offense, they shouldn't miss the playoffs. Like you shouldn't be losing like the Oakland Raiders, and they just had a lot of calamities this year that really went to get the Charger game where they had a 16, 18-point lead, whatever it is, you lose that one at home. Just a whole bunch of nonsense for them.
I like that Turkey Hill ice cream place out near Amish country. My daughter's still looking for her swirl ice cream at ShopRite.
Yeah, Turkey Hill's big out there, Jeff. Yeah.
No, they have the
experience.
Yeah, well, the plant, though, the actual plant at Turkey Hill is not that far from the venue that we had.
No, it's not. I saw it on there. Yeah, I saw the little thing pop up on the Google map.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's Tony Soprano ate Turkey Hill ice cream, if you watch Sopranos.
Yep. Does he eat at Maple Donuts, though?
I don't know. I don't know where they get made. Are we putting out a video for – No, we're not doing a video this week. Unfortunately, we have no one to produce the video, so we can't. Sorry. So, no, we won't unless I'm told something different.
How about a couple more, Jeff, real quick, and then we'll start looking forward a little bit here. You had a real nice win last night by the Seattle Seahawks in a must-win game, and you saw as the day unfolded, once the Houston Texans lost, look, Kansas City was going to play this game right down to the bone either way. But once you saw Houston lost, that sort of gave them that breather that said, all right, if we lose to Seattle, who's in a must-win situation tonight, basically, we can just go next week and wrap up the division. So they put on a nice show. Mahomes was amazing. Russell Wilson worth his weight in gold every single week. Maybe pound for pound, the most important player in the NFL to his team, Russell Wilson. Nice win by Seattle. They'll be in the playoffs, and they'll be hell on wheels, man, in the playoffs. Not too many teams want to face those Seattle Seahawks because Russell Wilson always keeps you in it. Pete Carroll seemingly coming up with game plan after game plan after game plan. Seahawks, man, they just never die, and especially in primetime situations, man, they come up gold.
No, they don't. I thought the receivers last night were awesome. I mean, they made some great plays in that game, especially late. Chiefs continue to struggle against the run. I mean, are they not just a team that's going to get bounced in the first round?
And it segues me right into the next point we're going to talk about. Tom Brady and the New England Patriots keep the ball on the ground, run like 47 times, and only win by 12, which you needed a calamity of bullshit nonsense not to get the cover for the Bills. But we won't get into, or not get the cover for the Patriots. We won't get into that. But you know the storyline coming down, right, Jeff? Can you feel it coming? Houston loses yesterday. Next week, you have another just automatic bye. Every time you play anybody in the AFC East for the for the Patriots. It's a bye. They won the division 10 straight years or whatever it is, 15 straight years and 10 straight 10. It's because they play in that division. If you put the Patriots in with the Steelers and the Ravens, they don't even make the playoffs this year. Patriots are out of the playoffs. But the fact that they play in the most inept conference in the division in the history of the NFL, they just walk into it. And you hit it right on the head, Jeff. They'll be home first week in that, they get the bye. They'll go win. Doesn't matter who they play. They're going to win in Foxborough because they always do. And you can see the Chiefs getting knocked off. And then here goes the New England Patriots cruising right into the Super Bowl again, gifted. Why can't anybody in the NFL keep these guys out? Does everybody just suck ass in the AFC and just say, you know what, guys? Just have at it. You get 5 free wins every year, possibly 6 in your division. Win a couple games outside of your division, and you're guaranteed to go to the Super Bowl because everybody sucks in the AFC. I hate it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I know for one thing, though, I'm going to do 2 things, Donnie.
Yes.
Bet against the Chiefs, and I'm going to do another thing. And you're going to think I'm crazy, but right. I just have a feeling I'm going to bet against the Saints.
In the Dome, though. Yes. Why?
I don't know. There's something about them.
And they get like 3 weeks to get healthy, too. So you get your tackles back, and, oh, man.
I don't know. I just don't see it. Guess I'm nuts. Bears, baby. Chicago Bears.
Yeah, what else we had yesterday real quick? Anything? Rams detonated Arizona. They scored 9 points. I think we all saw that one coming yesterday. Jacksonville in just a whack-ass game, which we joked about shouldn't even be taking place and probably shouldn't have, but Jacksonville did end up getting the win in the cover. And the Cowboys wrap it up, Jeff, 27-20. I gave out the Cowboys yesterday on the closing line. That ended up as a push. And my roundtable play of the week, Jeff, which was the over in the Eagles game, came in nicely with 62 points. We only needed, 45 in that one. But that was an offensive explosion. Early on, it looked like these teams are going slow up and down the field, and then you just had that fourth quarter explosion out there to fly over the total. But we could keep it up till next weekend. And here, we got a Monday Night Football game tonight. And I don't know. I was just plus 3 points. I don't know what Denver has to play for at this point. And it's just, Oakland's at home. It's Christmas Eve. Denver probably just wants to get back home and fire their football coach and open presents with their kids. I would lean Oakland.
Yeah, that's where I would go with it too. Yeah. Honestly, I think you're on to something here, Donnie. Oakland has shown they at least fight a little bit. I don't know what or why you'd have any interest on the road with the Broncos laying 3 points. Yeah, I don't see it either. I'm kind of onto it myself.
Yeah, no, it should be an interesting one. Early lines coming out this week. A lot of games, or excuse me, about maybe a half dozen games not lying because we're waiting to see who's the quarterback or playoff ramifications. But the one thing the NFL, we rip the NFL because their refs stink and they make some stupid calls and idiotic off-season changes to the game. But the thing they do get right always in Week 17, Jeff, is make sure they pair up the games so everything has meaning and you don't get the free walk into the playoffs because you're a West Coast team and you play at 4:25 so you can see what's going on at 1 o'clock. There are 8 4:25 games this week, Jeff. So should be some interesting betting shots from 1 o'clock all the way through. And then you have the nightcap, which is a win and get in type of ball game as well between Indianapolis and Tennessee. No line in that football game yet out as well, but some interesting stuff. I like the way the NFL does it. It'll keep us in here, reading those tea leaves, as I like to say, throughout the week to see who needs what.
Big man, you're a genius. Bet against home teams against the spread. Well, listen, I'm doing pretty well in the NFL this year, so why don't you just let me do what I do?
Dude, yes, it was a road day. Yeah, if you were taking road teams yesterday, you went all the way to the bank and probably paid off your mortgage, man, because road teams showed out yesterday.
Which I'm sure that's not going to happen long term.
No, it should.
Listen, we got to see what the numbers are. We'll keep a look at this. But again, Donnie, we have one game on the card today. It's very limited. Well, that's fine, Georgia. I don't really care what you think. So that's cool if you're being serious. I'm going to do what I do and you do what you do, pal. How about that? That's cool if you're serious. We'll see how your game does tonight, and then we can vilify you for your comments. So it's all love. I'm not worried about issues today. Kick rocks with that. Donnie, it's Christmas Eve, and again, I thank all the people for listening. But with a few minutes left, Donnie, we do have some news.
Okay? News and notes.
It's not great news, but it's news. And we're gonna have to get to it here. By the way, we're not on the air tomorrow. Of course, we're not on the air with the WCKG show either. The next 2 days here, today and tomorrow. We'll be back Wednesday. But Donnie, end of the week, this show is going to be ending, and this is not a joke. We've joked about this. We've had little funny jokes and stuff, but this is just as true. The 31st is the last show for the right side of campus. It's sad a bit for me because Donnie's a great friend of mine, and we're still going to do stuff together. But this show's going to be ending, and it's not our choice. It's something that's going to be picked up down the road. There's going to be another show starting involving Donnie, but this show will be going away. So.
Yeah, no, it had a nice little run. I mean, this isn't the first show that's going to switch up and stuff, but it's not like we're leaving the channels or doing anything like that. It's fun because I enjoy the show in the morning just because it's a lot different than what you get all the time. You come in and you can have opinions and you can rip things and rip people and you get that first fresh look. Like we always talked about, like, opening the morning paper, like, oh, look what happened here. And you get to talk about it, which I really like the show. But there's a format change at SBR leaning away from live shows, but I'm not going anywhere. I mean, I still going to have a show that's produced. Me and Teddy Covers will be taking over that betting show. So be looking for that. Our first show actually airs December the 28th. And it won't be a live show, but it'll be cut up clips to put out and you'll be produced and you'll see picks and all the same stuff we type do, but it just will be an edited show. So we'll still be around the channels. Jeff has a live show every single night. So should be good stuff.
But that will all be all I have. So it is what it is. And that's going to be that. I will miss doing this.
And the roundtable, our last roundtable will be Wednesday. That show, which I've had it's funny too, because I'm 19 and 18 on my personal plays this year in the NFL, but I had a scorching hot year on the roundtable. That show will also be going away. But I always like to say, Jeff, less is more. Still be around. I mean, I'm going to be on Twitter. We're going to be doing stuff together, in our future plans and stuff like that. But,
But I'll tell you what, for me, it is bittersweet because I've been on this channel a long time. I've done a lot of stuff on here, and it hasn't always been, the best. And I haven't always gotten along with everyone on here. But I've made a lot of friends and I've made a lot of people that have enjoyed the content. And, my content on, is cut down a bit. I'll still be on at night, and here's what we're doing at night, guys, going forward. We're going to feature someone on every night. Blackjack Fletcher's no longer on the show, which, that just didn't work out for us. But, we're going to feature different people. We'll try to get Donnie on because him and I won't be doing as many things together, so it'll be easier. But yeah, going forward, roundtable is going to be ending, and then on Friday, the right side of campus will be ending as well. We'll still be having the closing line shows on Saturday for me and Ian, and we're still going to do as much as we can. But it's not our decision; it's someone else's. So Donnie, I've. And Saturday was tough because I met Donnie's my friend. He's a friend to me. He's almost family at this point. And, we'll miss doing the show in the morning. WCKG show will continue as per usual. So that'll be where you find us now, guys, together, Donnie and I. So I heard you all to go watch that or go listen to that show every day on WCKG. And that's where you'll find us every day. So Donnie, the time has come, Christmas Eve. What are you up to tonight?
Yeah, no, I'm going to go out party with the family. Got a lot. I told you, like I said, as soon as the show ends, hit the gym real quick, shower up, take the kid out to pick some presents up. Then we make our rounds all the way. And I guess my kid actually doesn't watch the show, and she probably can't hear me since she's upstairs. Got to wrap all the presents tonight, Jeff. Got to put together hikes and put them under the tree and do all that stuff. So long day for parents. Usually it's a great day. It's one of the few days, Jeff, where I can tell my kid, you got to go to sleep because Santa's coming. And she goes to sleep. It's the only night of the year we get to do that. So we
Yeah. No, she was telling us about the elf that's at your house.
Yeah, Elf on the Shelf, man, all that stuff.
All that kind of stuff.
Caprigiante and SBR conference in August. Let me know. No, SBR's not going anywhere. And me or Jeff, we still prominent on the channels, have our own shows and WCKG show. So we're not going anywhere. It's just the formats of some of these shows are actually changing here. So
yeah, but Donnie, this is the show that is our thing, But
we'll still have it. Yeah, fine. Look, guys know me. Less is more for me. As long as the paycheck stays the same and you give me a little bit less work, I'm down for the cause. Trust me.
All right, guys. We'll have a great everyone have a great holiday. We'll see you all on Wednesday.
And when's our last right side of campus? Like this isn't the last show, so
Friday is the
Friday.
Last.
All right. So what's the date? Friday, 28th.
I don't know. I guess I think.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, there we go. So we got a couple days left. So we'll be off tomorrow. And then we'll be back So there's the roundtables Wednesday, so that'll be our last roundtable, and we'll be live Thursday and Friday. So we got a couple shows to go, Jeff. It's not ending yet.
The roundtable's a tough one. That's been around so long. That's your first show, Donnie. The roundtable.
That was I made my first appearance there. I made my bones on the roundtable, Jeff.
Yeah, So, all right, guys, you have all a great holiday, and we'll see you in a few days. Enjoy the time with your family, and hopefully it's prosperous and fun as well. Have a great weekend, or have a great holiday. Bye bye.